Alright, so this is cool. So, I have this Nintendo Switch up for trade. I've had it up for quite a while. I've seen other people doing this. For some reason, I haven't had a lot of success with people reaching out to me and saying, hey, I want to trade some old video games, some old toys. I want your Switch. I'm getting a lot of stuff like, I have a PS2 with 2 controllers. Would you trade? So, I haven't had any great hits yet. But today, rather last night, someone emailed and say, hey, I got a bunch of stuff. They sent me a picture. 2 Game Gears, a whole bunch of Game Gear games stacked up in these hard cases. I'm like, awesome, that looks good. And they have more, right? So talked to this guy just a few moments ago. He said, yeah, I have all this stuff. I have PS2, all these video games. And then he mentioned other things. He's got like this Alphone, all these different things that he collects. So today, hopefully today, I'm going to meet this guy. I'm going to go over to his house. I'm going to take the Switch. I'm going to get some cash because he might have more stuff than I think or I believe. So we will see what happens, guys. Again, maybe I'll make a deal, maybe I won't. A Nintendo Switch for a bunch of games, a bunch of old toys, who knows? And one more thing, guess what? I paid $25 for this Switch at a yard sale. Yep, $25. So I could sell it, but why sell it when you can trade up, flip it for more stuff? More to come. All right, so getting ready to go meet this guy. I got the Switch, couple of games, and then I also went ahead and I had these listed, actually still listed for sale on eBay, but they're controllers for the Switch, so I figured I'd take them just in case that might help sweeten the deal at any. So we'll see. I'll keep you updated. Babe, guess what I found?
Who cares?
You want to come see?
No, I'm cleaning up my grass.
This is why I got her a wheelbarrow.
No, you didn't.
Babe, you gonna like the wheelbarrow?
No.
Why?
I'm not gonna need it.
You need a wheelbarrow. Wheelbarrow. Hey guys, I'm back, and the Switch is still here. But, so we couldn't make a deal. Just didn't feel good about it. But I did buy some stuff, so let's look at that. This is what I got. Alright, so let's talk about what I got real quick. You know, maybe it would have been an okay deal trading straight up, but the condition of this stuff is not the greatest. Now everything works. So tested both the Game Gears, 2 Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color. I didn't, of course, test all the games. I'll talk about those in a moment. A Wii, so it's in there. It's the black Wii. It's got Mario. It's kind of complete. The only thing is it has a white controller instead of the black controller. But it's there. Kind of just threw these in a couple of PlayStation 2s. I think the hookups are all there. 1 controller. Haven't been tested, right? They say everything works, but everything did work. So I kind of think that they're probably telling the truth. It probably does all work. And look at this. So even as old and dirty as these look, they actually still worked. Everything worked pretty well. A couple of these are missing the covers. This one has everything. It's complete. You can see there's a few scratches on the screen. But everything works. Game Gear is kind of the same deal. Not the best condition, but they do work. The games are kind of interesting. So they're all there, and they're like in these custom, he calls them custom cases, but really they're just like old tape cases with like a printed artwork on it. But the games are in there. I haven't looked any of these games up per se. I don't think there's any rare ones, but you know, pretty cool. I don't know if I'm probably just going to sell them loose by themselves or do some kind of a lot with the Game Gears. Just depends off if any of these have any value by themselves, if there's any rare ones there. I don't think there is, just looking at them. They look pretty common. I don't know enough about games that really determine, or say I could say one way or the other if they're common or not, but they look common. So that's what I got. And what did I pay? So I went ahead and paid. I made an offer of $160 on everything. He was quick to take it. I was trying to be fair. I probably could have, now after how quick he took it, I probably could have came in a little bit lower. But we'll see. I think for the Wii, I need to get it listed as soon as possible. $100. The Game Gears, hopefully I can clean up a bit, between 50 to 75 a piece. Maybe a lot of them with some games, a bit more, or maybe sell the games individually. And then I don't know if I'm gonna try to get the backs for all the Game Boys, just sell them as is, right? No great games either. PS2s, I'll probably just hold on to them. Maybe I'll sell one until I can test them and get some way to lot them up as like complete consoles. So that's it. Probably not the best deal, but still, I was there, make an offer, make a little bit of money. That's what I got. All right, my peoples. So it's the next day. I've listed everything. I've tested everything. So good news is everything worked. And I'm going to show here what I listed so far. So the PlayStation 2 Fat. So I had the cords and one controller. I had a game that I paired up with it, and I listed that for 80 bucks. The Game Boy Color, missing a battery cover. I decided not to order the battery cover. I just went ahead and listed it with the games. So a lot of the Game Boy games, I listed that for 50. Game Boy Advance Plus games. That was the one without the battery cover. That was the purple one. Then I listed all the other Game Boy Advance games, 60 bucks. Then I lotted up the Game Boy Advance, the white one, with Mario 3 for 60 bucks. I listed a couple games separately there, just kind of for fun more than anything else. They didn't have a lot of value, but I thought I wanted to get a few listings out there. The Game Gear Blue, that was the Game Gear that was probably in the best condition. It is actually, I think, what they call like, I forget what it is now. It's like the limited or the introduction type of game system. So that's a little bit better than the black ones. Listed that for 90 bucks. Already got a couple of offers, but I think I'm going to hold off. I'm going to wait and see what happens. Then the Game Gear Black, I paired that with Sonic. That one cosmetically is in poor condition, but it did work. So there's the listing so far. If you add that up, it comes up to a grand total of $405. So not bad. So in addition to that, I did a couple more listings. I did 2 lots of the Game Gear games. I did not include those tape cases. I didn't think that would add any value. So I listed 10 games and 12 games. And I did an auction. I did have a buy it now, but I listed them at auction. Listed them at 99 cents for 7 days. So we'll see where that lands. And then I do have a PS2 Slim. I tested that, it worked. I don't have a controller. So I think I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait and see if I can find a controller and pair that with it. And I suspect that I should be able to get at least 80 bucks for that. And then the Wii, the black Wii with Mario, complete in box, except of course it had a white controller instead of the black controller. I could list it. I could probably get 100 bucks now, but I think I'm going to wait. I think I'm going to wait and see if I can find a black controller and the nunchuck. I feel like I've been finding Wii's just about every week. So I feel like I can find one black controller with the Motion Plus and add it, and it'll be totally complete. So I'm just doing an estimate here, guys. But I think with the things that I've listed or I haven't listed for any dollar amount, I think that's another $240. So what does that mean? Well, I told you I had $405 listed and $240, I think, anticipated listings. That is a total of $645. Oh yeah, and 2 of them already sold. I just listed these today. Again, I just talked about all the listings. 2 have already sold for full price. So I'm already at almost $100. So very happy about that. Before I go, guys, I want to share one other kind of BOLO. We all know video games are selling like crazy. People are at home. People are collecting video games. People are playing video games. Collecting, right? So people are collecting everything. I've seen a lot of different things that we might not think are collectible or becoming collectible. One of those things, which have been collectible, is vintage toys. They're just skyrocketed in volume, or value, I should say, volume too. But I had a couple of sales today. These are G.I. Joes from the 80s. G.I. Joe, 80s toys in general are super hot. G.I. Joe being one of those. So these 2 guys sold together. These 2 sold for $20 plus shipping. They are drivers for a hydrofoil. And this lady here, she is kind of complete. So people that know about G.I. Joe are super picky. So she's complete to an extent that she has her gun in her backpack. However, they are red. So these are like replacement guns or accessories. She would normally have came with black ones, but she's still sold for $35 because she's fairly desirable and in pretty good condition. Condition is the other thing. So if you're out and you see vintage toys, if they're in poor condition, they're probably not as valuable as of course they're not as valuable as the ones that are in pristine or good condition. So be aware of that. If you see a box of old G.I. Joes and they're all beat the you know what, it may not be worth getting, but it just depends, right? With anything, it's rarity, it's scarcity, it's the demand, so it just depends what you have. So do your research. But I appreciate the time, guys. Thanks for viewing, and please subscribe.